Hi! So today I wanted to film a full face of Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild is probably my favorite drugstore brand at the moment. I just love so many of their products and I use them almost daily. So I thought it would be really fun to try all of those products together and see how they work together. I don't have all of the products, but I do have quite a few, and I also got some new products that we're gonna test out today, so let's get into it. Now, I went for a mauve theme. I just love everything mauve-y. Mauve is my favorite color to wear on my eyes, on my cheeks, and on my lips as well. So I got quite a few mauve things. I did pick at this spot I have right before this video, so we'll see how that's gonna look underneath makeup. That is completely my fault though, so yeah, let's get into it. Let me just get my hair out of the way. I'm just gonna prep my skin with my Weleda skin food. My skin is so dry at the moment, so this is the only moisturizer I've been using. I'm gonna start with my eyes, and for my eyes I picked up this palette. This is new to me. This is the Color Icon palette in the shade Heart and Soul. They had quite a few different color options available, but I don't know. Like I said, everything else that I have is mauve, so I just went for the mauve palette, I guess. Wet n Wild packaging though really sucks. Like I don't know how the hell I'm gonna open this. And the packaging breaks so easily. You'll see most of my products are broken. How the hell am I gonna open this? Okay, I need scissors. Oh my god. Like, it is so impossible to open. Here it is. Okay, here is what the palette is looking like. I really like this color story. I'm just gonna prep my eyes with my Maybelline concealer. I didn't get the concealer. I swatched it in store and it looked so heavy and so drying. So I just decided to not pick it up. So I'm just gonna use this. This brush had some glitter on it, so my eyes are now glittery. Let me just apply a bit more. Okay, I'm not really sure what I want to do. I'm gonna start with this lightest shade. They don't have names. Yeah, they don't have names. I'm just gonna start with this lightest shade. I'm using my ColourPop E2 brush. Just gonna use this as my base. Ooh, this is a really nice base shade. Now I'm gonna go into this shade. It's a bit more pinky and slightly darker, so we'll see if this will show up. I'm just gonna use the same brush I used for the other shade. They're definitely different. This one is a lot more pinky. I really like how these shades are performing so far. Looking so nice. Maybe I should zoom it in a bit more. Okay, I think I'm gonna use this darkest purpley shade on a small angled brush, and I'm gonna do a smudged eyeliner. Okay, now I'm gonna take this small ColourPop E29 brush. I'm gonna attempt to smudge this eyeliner. Okay, I don't think this is the right brush. I'm gonna go with this ColourPop angled brush. This is the E30 brush. It's a thicker angled brush, and I'm just gonna smudge this eyeliner. Okay, that's looking quite nice. Let me quickly do this on the other side and I'll be right back. Okay, this shade is not the most pigmented, so I did struggle a bit, but it's fine. Now I'm just gonna try to build the pigment a bit more. I'm just gonna use the same angled brush to do so. I'm gonna take the ColourPop angled brush and I'm gonna smudge it again. Okay, that looks good. Now, I think I'm just gonna use this shimmery pinky shade and put that all over my lid. Oh, it's quite powdery. Let's see how it is. It's actually quite pretty. You know what? It's actually a really nice shimmery shade. I did not expect that at all. That is so nice. And I'm just gonna go back to my angled brushes and I'm gonna go over that wing one more time. Okay, that's actually quite fun. Just gonna apply a bit more of the shimmery shade in the center. I'm wondering if I could use the shade in my inner corner, but I think it's gonna be too dark. Well, maybe it could work. Or is it a bit too dark? Huh. That's the only thing. I don't feel like there's a light enough shade for me to use in my inner corner. I might just go with the pinky shade. I'm just gonna take my ColourPop L1 brush and I'm gonna go into the pinky shade and into my inner corner. I'm quite liking the eyes so far. I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush. This is the ColourPop E22. I'm just gonna run this through my crease. Just gonna diffuse this a bit more. Okay, I really like how this looks. This palette performed really nicely. I mean, these shimmery shades are kind of powdery. You can see all of the excess right there, but they do work really nice. Now I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and a small amount of my micellar water and I'm just gonna clean this eye look a bit. Now for my primer, I have this Impossible primer. I owned this before and it is a really nice blurring primer. I just don't reach for those kind of primers on a daily basis. I need something that's really moisturizing and I usually don't use a primer, but I do use this from time to time and it is really nice. I'm just gonna take a really small amount and apply it in my T-zone. It is quite blurring. Now for my foundation, I own two. I own this Photo Focus Dewy foundation and I also own this tinted hydrator. I'm gonna go in with my tinted hydrator. This is one of my favorite foundations and I use it almost every day. And this one is fine, and the smell is really bad, so I just kind of tend to reach for this one a lot more. And I prefer this one's finish and just how it looks on the skin. This one, again, this one is not bad, but compared to this one, it's not that good either. So I'm just gonna go with my tinted hydrator. This is in the shade Fair. I like to shake it just a bit. This is such a nice foundation because you can sheer it out quite a bit, or you can build it for some more coverage. I like to sheer it out. So I'm just gonna apply a few dots on one side of my face. I'm gonna use my Sigma flat kabuki brush. This is the F80. I feel like this literally looks like my skin. It adds such a nice glow and it looks so natural. I'm just gonna build the coverage with what I have left on my hand. I just love how this looks on my skin. It is such a skin-like finish. So nice. And I'm just gonna press it in with my damp beauty sponge. Like I said, I didn't get the concealer, so I'm just gonna go with my Maybelline Instant Age Eraser. This is in the shade 00. And I'm gonna blend it out with my beauty sponge. I feel like Wet n Wild is so underrated. No one really talks about it ever. This spot does not want to be covered. I'm just gonna try to put some more concealer. Lightly tap. But yeah, it does not really want to be covered. That's okay. We'll just... My nose is so dry, it's literally peeling off. So don't mind that. Now for powder, I absolutely love this powder. I have two shades This is the Bare Focus powder. I have the shade Fair and the shade Translucent. This one is newer to me. This one, as you can see, is very well loved. I got this one first and I used it almost every day, so I decided to get the lighter shade as well because this one is a bit too dark for me underneath my eyes. So I'm going to use both. I'm going to start with the translucent shade underneath my eyes, and I'm going to use my ColourPop E9 brush. Now, this powder is not the most long-lasting one. I do not recommend it for oily skin at all, but for my dry skin, it works fine. It is quite blurring. I really enjoy it. And now for the rest of my face, I'm gonna go with the shade Fair. And this one is broken. I broke it like a couple of days ago. And yeah, this happens to almost all of the Wet n Wild products. Not really ideal, but oh well. And I'm just gonna use my Sigma setting powder brush. This is the F12. I probably don't need any powder. My skin is so dry, but we'll just go for it. This powder combined with that primer makes my skin look really blurred. For bronzer, you can just see how well loved and used this is. The packaging broke as well on this, But I love this bronzer so much. This was the only bronzer I used for like a hot minute there. This is the Color Icon bronzer. It's in the shade Sunset Striptease. It is such a beautiful bronzer. It is definitely one of my top favorite bronzers ever. And I'm just gonna apply with my ColourPop F29 brush. Just look how pretty it looks. If I could close it, that would be amazing too, but oh, there it is. Now for blush, again, this is one of my favorite products ever. It is very well loved and very used as well. This is the blush in the shade Mellow Wine. It is such a nice mauve-y, sun-kissed kind of a blush. Now it did get really hard panned, so it's really hard for me to use it, but I do still use it. I tried to remove this hard pan so many times and it just keeps happening, so I just gave up. And I'm gonna use my ColourPop F32 brush. I definitely need to get a new one because this is definitely one of my favorite blushes ever. And this broke now as well. I mean, to be fair, I had this for quite some time, but the packaging just ain't it. It is such a nice blush shade. And of course I'm going to use some on my nose as well. I do think that this might be my favorite blush shade that I own. I'm just gonna press it in a bit with my beauty sponge. I don't have the highlighter either. I used to own that highlighter and they have only two shades, at least here they only have two shades. Like a really icy pink shade as the one I used to own, and I really dislike the shade. And I don't like the formula either, it was quite powdery. And the other shade I have, it's a really goldeny darker shade. It would be too dark for me, so I just skipped on the highlighter. So we're just gonna skip highlighter today. Now I'm just gonna finish my lower lash line, and I think I'm just gonna use... Oh my god, this is so hard to open. Okay, this is impossible to open. I'm just gonna use my ColourPop E28 brush, and I'm gonna go into this lighter pinky shade. For mascara, I did get a mascara, but I don't have my hopes really high up. They had quite a few mascaras and none of them looked really appealing to me, so I just picked the one that said volume and it had a nice packaging as well. It feels really empty. It feels like there's nothing in here, so I don't know. I'm just gonna quickly curl my eyelashes with my Essence eyelash curler. Now, to be fair, I hate all of the mascaras on the first go. There was not one single mascara I liked when I first tried it. I feel like they're just too wet for my preferences, so this will not be a fair test, but we'll see. It's quite a big chunky wand, so let's give it a go. Actually, that is not looking bad at all. but I just feel like there's nothing in this tube. It's a really dry formula as well, so maybe that's why. I mean, look, it's definitely not gonna become my new favorite mascara, but I'm quite impressed because I thought this was gonna be a clumpy mess. Try to build a few more layers. I don't like the wand. The wand is really chunky and I have a hard time. I feel like I'm already out of this mascara though. I have to really dig deep. Yeah, I don't mind the effect that it gives, but literally I feel like there is nothing in this tube. Like, I have to dip like 100 times to get something. And now for lips, I'm quite excited about this. I got this ginormous lip liner. I mean, just look how big this is. Like, let me just compare it to... This is a brand new NYX liner. Like, this is so huge. I was literally so shocked when I pulled this out. This will last you a lifetime. And I got the shade Plumberry. Now let me just open this. This packaging is really driving me insane. Okay, I'm just gonna leave the rest of the packaging on. I cannot be bothered. Let's see the shade. Ooh, it's a bit more purple than I hoped, but we'll see how it's gonna go. I actually quite enjoy this formula. It's not slipping and sliding everywhere. Oh, I actually do quite like this shade. It's not as purpley on my lips. I'm just gonna take my finger and blend the edges a bit. Okay, I actually really enjoyed this formula and this shade. I'm quite impressed. And now I have 3 products. The first 2 I already owned. These are the Mega Last High Shine Brillance lipsticks. This is one of my favorite lipsticks. It is such a nice shade and these are so hydrating on the lips. This is the shade Jam With Me. Like, it is such a nice shade. And I also have this orange shade. It's called Tanger-ring the Alarm. I never used this one, but it's such a nice orangey shade. But I think I'm gonna use this. This is a new product to me. I spotted these today. I think that I might really like this. I love the shade and I feel like I'm really gonna enjoy this formula. This is the Cloud Pout Mousse. I got mine in the shade Marsh to my Mellow. That is such a cute name. Okay, that not swatch the best. It is such a nice shade. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, they have quite a nice smell as well. I really like that. Okay, this shade is so nice. I'm so excited about this product. I am in love with this shade and the formula is quite nice as well. Now let me fix my hair. Oh, I did not do my brows. I didn't get any of the brow products from Wet n Wild, so I'm just going to use my ABH brow pomade. I just finished my brows and I fixed my hair and this is the finished look. I really like how this look turned out. I am in love. Now let me tell you how I feel about the products. I'm just gonna start with the products I already own. First is the Broken bronzer. This is again one of my favorite bronzers ever. I absolutely love it. The shade is so nice, it performs beautifully. I just really like this bronzer. The same goes for the Broken blush. This shade again is one of my favorite shades I own. It is such a nice blush. It does get heartburn though, so just be aware of that. The two powders again, I love them so much. Again, if you do have oily skin, I don't think that these are for you, but if you have dry skin, I think that you would really like them. Just don't expect them to keep your makeup set for a longer period of time. But I don't mind it. Again, my skin is really dry, so these work quite nicely for me. Again, the Tinted Hydrator, one of my favorite products ever. It looks beautiful on the skin. It literally looks like my skin, but better. I absolutely love this product. And the primer as well. It works beautifully if you like those kind of pore filling type of primers. I don't really reach for it because I don't really use that kind of primers. I like something that's really moisturizing, so I mostly just go in with my moisturizer. I don't use a primer at all. So it's definitely not something I use very often, but it is a good primer. And now for the new products that I tried, this palette I really like. I guess it's not anything out of this world special. It is really hard to get it open though. But for a drugstore palette, it performs really nicely. I was able to create a really nice look. Shades are quite powdery, but they do look really nice and sparkly on the eyes. So yeah, I really like this palette. I think these two might be my new favorite products in general, not just from Wet n Wild. The lip liner, first of all, it is ginormous. It will last me a whole lifetime. It is really inexpensive for how much product you get. And the shade, I really like this shade. Again, I love mauve shades. It does look a bit more purpley on my hand, but on my lips it looks pretty much like a really nice mauve shade. So I think this might be my new go-to lip liner. And this shade, I'm mostly impressed with this shade, but the formula as well, it's really nice. I cannot wait to wear this a lot more. I think this might be my new favorite product just in general. It is so good. Now the last product that, well, it's the only product that I disliked. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, this went really well. That's cool. Like, the more now that I'm looking at my lashes, they really don't look that great. At first I was impressed because I expected it to be way worse. You know, the formula is so dry. I feel like I could only use this like 2 more times and I wouldn't be able to use it more. I just really, like, it's fine, but it's it cannot compare to my other mascaras whatsoever. It is just like, it's okay. It's not terrible. It's not the worst mascara ever, but it's not really good either. So yeah, I would not recommend this one at all. I had so much fun creating this look and I think it turned out so nice, and I'm so happy that I discovered some of these new products and I cannot wait to try them out more. So yeah, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching and bye.